Question for GMs out there. How do you help a player who is struggling to find a voice in the campaign? Now, I mean, this is a player who maybe they get talked over a bit. Maybe they don't really have a solid idea for their character, whereas everyone else has pretty much written a novel for their backstory, or they're very good at developing it on the fly. They're just kind of along for the ride with the party, and they're struggling to find that sense of who they are and how they fit in the group. How do you help that player? I found that there's been a few things that you can do that help along. One, the most obvious, is communication. Have a conversation with that player. Ask them what they want to do. Ask them what they're looking for. Also, ask the player if they feel comfortable with you, when you're going around the table and you stop and say, hey, what do you want to do with your character? What are your character's thoughts in this situation? And then if the player is comfortable with that, because not everybody is, some people really don't like just suddenly getting put on the spot, then that gives them an opportunity to sort of jump into that. Another thing I like to do is when it comes time to, all right, what's everyone want to do in town? Or what are you all doing in this room in the dungeon or something like that? I ask everyone individually what their character is specifically doing, because you'll always have one or two players that are like on the fly, gonna go investigate this, gonna go talk to this person, gonna go over to the mayor's house, something like that. They're quick. They know what they want to do, but there's other players that might just sort of sit back and be like, well, I guess they know what they're doing. So you stop and say, hey, player one, what are you doing? They tell you, okay. Player two, okay. 3, okay. 4, all right. And then you sort of go through there. And if people want to go together, fantastic, easier for you as the GM. But if they're all going separate, doesn't matter. You sort of bounce back between them. So what do you do when you have a player that doesn't really have a voice at the table but wants to find one?